Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Right now is Tuesday. Let's see, July 30th, 2019, and I'm gonna give you my live review of this show that I just finished watching on Netflix. I didn't get to screen it on in advance because last week, oh my god, after Comic Con, I was just dead, man. I was just trying to recuperate from Comic Con. I did not have the energy to screen anything last week. So it was a lot of sleep. And also today, this morning is the coolest part of the day. I don't want to wait till daytime or noon or afternoon to give you this review when it gets really, really hot in my room. Right now, it's bearable. um, so here it is. It's a new sci-fi series on Netflix. It premiered last week's Wednesday. Many of you probably already have watched it. I just finished watching it because it was again I was recuperating from Comic Con and I got a lot of shit that I was catching up to do this past week. But I finally finished watch the 10th episode. There are 10 episodes in this show called Another Life. Another Life. That's the title. Another Life, starring Katee Sackhoff. I hope I pronounced that name correctly. I I watched Battlestar Galactica and I know how to pronounce Tricia, but I don't. It's like Katie. Okay, let's start. Let's go with that. Um, I was disappointed by this series. I am hugely disappointed by this new show. I'm always on the lookout for the next great new sci-fi. You know, um, you can make the argument that The Expanse is currently one of the best ones out there. Thank you, Amazon, for picking that up after Sci-Fi canceled it. So I'm like, okay, maybe Another Life could be that next one that kind of gets everybody buzzing again. It's like, oh my god, this is such a great show, such a great freshman show. Unfortunately, it's far from that. And so this show is very problematic in so many ways. Let me break it down for you. Basically, the synopsis or what is going on this show. Um, where is that synopsis? I have it on my screen. So, an alien artifact lands on Earth for no reason whatsoever. It's this freaking huge, tall tower, and nobody knows why that's there. So, but the government finds out that there's this planet. I think it's called Canaris Major. Well, anyway, light years away. That the government believes that is the origin of this alien artifact that has landed on Earth. So the government sends this group of scientists um, to go to that planet. One of the people on board is actually the son of Secretary of Defense, and his job, I think his name is Shanna. Well, anyway, Sasha. Here you go. His job is to be the diplomatic ambassador. Kind of when they land in the alien planet, that they're hoping that Sasha, this son of Secretary of Defense, would be the guy who says, "Hey, we Earthlings, we've come in peace. We don't want war," and to that effect. So that's pretty much the premise of the show. Um, Katee Sackhoff plays Nico Breckenridge, who is the captain of the ship. Um, and back on Earth, Nico's husband, who is a very smart scientist, his job is to decode the artifact. His job is to understand or trying to crack why the artifact is there. And he does this through methods like, oh, maybe we try, I don't know, ultrasound or hypersound or like sound of birds, he comes up with all these hypotheses and tests and, trying to like get the door to open. And at one point it does open. And so there's that plot line as well. So, but that's the premise of Another Life in a nutshell. Um, let's get to why I don't like the show, because I don't want to waste too much of your time and mine as well. Um, I'm a big fan of last year's Lost in Space. Remember Lost in Space? That's Netflix sci-fi series based on the. It's a reboot based on the '60s series. That one was awesome. Why? Because Lost in Space blends the drama and the sci-fi intricacy really, really well. It's well balanced, and whenever the show handles its sci-fi aspects, it does it in a way that MacGyver does his method. You know, MacGyver, the guy who can create, I don't know, a missile with a toothpick and and a bubble gum. Uh, so Lost in Space is about every episode is about problem solving, problem solving, problem solving. We see the characters um put their heads together and MacGyver their way out of their situation. And it's not even as far. It's not far fetched like MacGyver with bubble gum and toothpicks and paper clipper whatever. They try to do it as close as possible to what can be perceived as scientifically accurate. Kind of like the movie The Martian. Remember The Martian with Matt Damon? It's science fiction, obviously. They take creative liberties, creative license in a lot of ways. But also in a lot of ways, the story tries to apply some of actual scientific methods into Matt Damon trying to survive on Mars. So that's why I love Lost in Space. In another life, unfortunately, sorry, my nose is running. Um, there's almost none of that. And when they do have problem solving in another life, more than often, it's not smartly done. It's not smartly staged. I and the way they do it is most of the times is by Hail Mary, by crapshoot. Like, okay, well, and we'll see, whether or not this is gonna work. Who knows, right? Who knows? We haven't done the calculation, but hey, this sounds about right. um, so that's what frustrates me. Is like, really, I thought you guys are scientists, and they'll throw jargons at you to make themselves kind of like appear smart, but you could tell it's just the writers like, hey, if we just go off the walls with these terms, nobody's gonna call out our bullshit. So and yeah, and the Hail Marys, it comes in like many times it comes with Nico playing the martyr, playing the savior complex. I'm like, how many times? And they do this like, I think more than a few episodes. How many times until you get so tired of it? Like, really, Nico again has to put herself like, this whole sacrificing yourself, like, oh, and for an effort that might or might not work. It's just it after a while it gets old. It really does get old. So it another life fails on its sci-fi aspect already. So it's even on that alone is just like, ah. And then the drama. Remember, this is also because it's like Lost in Space and all the other sci-fi like The Expanse. You gotta have the drama, right? The drama in another life. ah, to put it best, it's like watching. Yeah, it's like watching a poorly written soap opera. It's all about like, oh my god, is he attracted to her, or like, and there's a threesome scene, and at the end, um I kid you not, I'm not gonna go into details, but it even has a Maury Povich moment. Maury Povich, right? The talk show host, who's like, oh, we're gonna give you a DNA test, and we're gonna decide who is the real father. and then and then Maury would be like, um, maybe a day after reading his note, it's like, you are not the father of the baby. And then you see the guys like jumping, and the woman will be like crying. Or sometimes you're like, you are the father, and then the guy's like, no, no, I have to pay child support. No. There's that moment in another life. I kid you not. Not necessarily, to that specific, but so the threesome, two guys, one girl. The girl got pregnant, and then he's like, dum dum dum. The camera looks at both guys like, oh, it's so cheesy. It's so dumb. Why am I watching this? Oh my god. And the AI on board, because you always, you have to have either an android or an AI, right? That's one of the ingredients of a sci-fi show. You got to have somebody like Data from the Next Generation. Well, the AI on board is William, and he takes the form of a human form. And throughout this season, apparently he has feelings for Nico. And so the writers just have to explore that to the point where it gets so exhausting. And then the AI gets heartbroken, he gets frustrated, and he puts the lives of the people on board at risk because his heart was broken. Oh, and I'm like, going through these episodes, like, where are we going with this? Can we stop it with the cheesy will they, won't they, and then maybe come back to a drama that's built around the sci-fi thriller aspect of it. But then again, the sci-fi aspect is also a big colossal failure. So you lose either way. You lose either way with Another Life. And you know what? I was actually looking forward to this because it's been what, I want to say 10 years since Battlestar Galactica ended. The reboot. So I was like, okay, it's nice to see Katee Sackhoff back in another sci-fi story, right? It's like, okay, Captain Starbuck, cool, awesome. I want to see what this is about, Another Life. And I was rooting for Katie. He's like, all right, Captain Starbuck, you get yourself another chance at sci-fi. Best of luck. Hope this works. Hope this lasts. But man, what a disappointing season one. I think the only reason why I stuck through it till the end, I watched all 10 episodes. I think it's because I want to say I wanted to have something to watch while I eat my breakfast, or while I had nothing else better to do. Maybe that could be the reason why, maybe the only reason that you should watch or check out Another Life. Um, if for whatever reason you're like, yeah, what? There's nothing good on Netflix. There's nothing new. Fine, let's pop in another. Let's pop in an episode of Another Life. um, the whole storyline on Earth with Justin Chatwin's character and Selma Blair, that also is a colossal failure. Selma Blair plays this media girl with lots of millions of followers, and that character Harper is as annoying as she gets. Um, Justin Chatwin's character also has this deal with his daughter that's kind of interesting at one point when his daughter's life is on the line. But other than that, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I apologize for saying this, but ever since I watched Dragon Ball Evolution, remember that movie Dragon Ball Evolution? Um, Justin Chatwin, who plays Goku in that movie, just ever since then he left a bitter taste kind of in my mouth. So whenever I see him in anything, I'm like, I can't get over that. And it seems like this character that he plays in Another Life deserves an actor with a bigger or much more solid gravitas than Justin Chatwin. No offense to those of you Justin Chatwin fans out there. So yeah, so there's that too. But I gotta give at least credit where credit is due. Um, One thing that I do like about the show is that there's no guarantee that any of the characters would survive. I kid you not. Sometimes they would bring in a new, because the ship that they're on, um, it's not just that crew and that's it. I think there's like six. It's not just that. There are many other also crew members who are still hibernating, who are still sleeping. So there'll be episodes when they wake some of them up to fix a problem loosely. And so there's no guarantee that any of those six or any of the people that they wake up along the way, there's no guarantee that they would live past just one episode. So I mean, even in the pilot episode, Tyler Hoechlin's character was like, "Wow, there's this power struggle going on, and he doesn't survive." So that was like, "Whoa, that's crazy! You have Tyler Hoechlin, the guy who plays Superman on Supergirl series, and you don't even let him be part of the whole season. That's crazy." So that much I do like the fact that we don't know which characters that the writers will keep. Um, so that part I do kind of think that to the show's credit, okay, that's cool. But other than that, yeah, this is a very very huge letdown for us sci-fi fans. They leave it off at the end, episode 10, with some kind of a cliffhanger, because by then they're like, "Oh my god, now we're encountering this thing," and turns out they're actually pretty bad, the aliens, as you say. So of course, it makes you wonder, like, oh, I want to see where this goes. You know, if the alien, because now they found out the aliens are bad. What are they gonna do? But I think that whole cliffhanger or that whole premise is just not strong enough to justify all the crapolas that happened throughout the past 9 episodes. Um, oh my god, there's an episode where they're like dancing, like they have this nightclub simulation, and just like they're being high. I'm not against getting high. I myself getting high a lot, but it was so pointless. That scene was so pointless. I hate how this series just doesn't know how to engage and really get you boiling for the characters. They're like it spends too much time on things that just don't matter, and relationship problems that we don't care about. All this the whole cheesy soap opera part of it. Oh man, what a huge letdown. This could have been a fantastic sci-fi, that keeps you guessing, that keeps you on the edge of your seat, that keeps you like, oh my god, I can't wait to turn the page to the next chapter to see what happens next. But instead, we got this. Another Life is um a poor excuse for a sci-fi drama. Let's just put it that way. That's what Another Life is. So if you guys did not choose to watch this last week, and instead you chose to watch Orange is the New Black final season, good on you, man. Good for you. I think you made the right and the wise decision. I would be hugely surprised if Netflix renews Another Life for a second season. I am not holding my breath. So that's it. That's my review of Netflix Another Life series. If you've seen it, if do you agree or disagree with my assessment? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Let's rock this.